Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I'd like to let you know an executive session was held in advance of this meeting to discuss personnel, contract, and legal matters. At this point, I'd like to ask Ms. Matosh to please go over the one-way streaming housekeeping guidelines.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. We are streaming the meeting tonight via a YouTube link. It is on our website and posted on our Facebook pages. Any public who is watching via the stream and would like to make public comments, there is a Google form placed on our website under important messages. You can enter public comments for the board meeting tonight there. Thank you.
Thank you. If everyone will please rise with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion, any questions, comments? Okay, if there are any no votes, seeing no votes, the motion will pass. So at this point, we have a time for public comments on agenda items only. If there's anyone here that has any public comments on anything on the agenda. And I believe we did have one public comment sent in through a Google Doc from someone who was live streaming. I'll ask Ms. Bosbaugh, as the secretary of the board, to please read that comment.
Public comments on agenda items, on just general public comments.
All right, so we'll save that to the end. Are there any public comments on the agenda items? All right, seeing none, I will move on to item number 6, which I'm going to discuss the interview process. Tonight, we have a candidate who has applied to fill the vacancy for Region 3, which is on the board, which is the Duncannon Borough, New Buffalo, Watts, and Reed Townships. So what we will do is each of us will take time and we'll ask the candidate each one question. And then afterward, we'll give the candidate an opportunity to ask us any questions as well. There will be a discussion in public, and then we will take a vote in public as well. So any questions about the interview process? Okay, if there aren't any questions, I would like to welcome Mrs. Charnette Wilt. Thank you for being with us tonight. So I think I'll just start asking the first question, and then we'll just kind of go around the room. So my first question is, can you please just, in addition to this question, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself, if you're comfortable doing that, and then why have you applied to serve as a member of the Susquehanna School Board?
I thought Watts Township and Duncannon were not represented. I didn't realize that there were 3 from each, but I'm glad I did. So I still want to do it.
Well, they're underrepresented because each region has 3 members. So
Yeah, now I realize
it's
that.
important. No, it's important. So we're glad you did too.
Okay.
So very good. Dr. Rubish, question number 2,
Okay.
please.
Mrs. Wilt, why did you choose to go through the write-in process rather than have people sign a petition?
Because I did not realize there wasn't anybody running until about 3 or 4 weeks before the election, which was too late to apply.
Late for the petition at that point. Okay. And you heard nobody was running, and you thought,
Why
What?
not?
what do you think you can contribute to the school board?
A mom's perspective, a retiree's perspective. I did not go to Susquehanna, but I lived in 3 or 4 different states and went to school in quite a few different school districts. So I don't know if that will help or not, but.
Well, I did the same, so I think that helps, yes. Okay, that's it for me.
What has been your personal involvement with education in the community?
2 boys, 4 grandchildren, and a great-grandchild coming up. All here at Susquehanna. Well, 2 in Newport.
What do you feel are the top 3 challenges facing our school district today?
Division. This, and Susquehanna, there seems to be a little bit of a lack of school spirit. I don't know if that's still the case or not. But, and I'd like to do what I can. So,
Can you amplify on what the division is that you see?
the whole country.
Thank you. Do you have any conflicts of interest that might be viewed as limiting your objectivity as a board member?
No, I was on the Watts Township voting thing. I think maybe you were too. Okay. And I resigned that, so there would be no conflict.
Thank you. That's all of our formal questions. Do you have any questions for us?
No, I just feel like I'm on a hot seat if I start shaking.
3 of us have been there, so we know exactly how you feel.
Okay.
The rest of us are there every single board meeting. All right, at this point, I'll open the floor to the board for any public discussion. I will make one comment. A couple things that I heard. I heard you several times use the word help, wanting to help,
Yeah.
including doing what you can.
Mhm.
So I appreciate that. If there isn't any discussion, can I have a motion to approve Mrs. Charnette Wilt to fill the school board vacancy for Region 3?
So moved.
I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Yes. Are there any no votes? Okay, not hearing any no votes, and motion passes, so welcome to the board.
Thank you.
At this point, we're going to adjourn. And first of all, we have a notary here who's going to swear you in.
Okay.
It'll take just a moment. And then we're going to move into an executive session briefly just to discuss the items that are on the agenda that the superintendent will discuss with us. And then at the end of the meeting, we will go into a second executive session to discuss contractual items that we need to discuss that aren't necessarily something we're voting on tonight. And there will not be a vote after that. So the community, hopefully, they won't have to hang around. So we'll keep this executive session as short as possible and come back out to the community. So at this point, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. We'll move into executive session.
I go with you, right?
My father was a career Marine, so the longest I spent at any one school building for my high school year was a year and a half.
My husband, my father was a bartender.
Okay.
Okay. One thing I could have said, my mom was married 4 times, my dad was married 7.
Oh, okay.
So when we come back out, I put your stuff over here, so that'll be your agenda. And if you want anything there, you
You guys have to do minutes, whoever's the chair, do the minutes.
That she'll need something. Yeah, yeah. I will, because I'm still clueless.
You never got one either.
No, we were handed this big binder, and we met for half an hour, and that was supposed to be all we needed to know. And sent a login for PSBA, and that was it. And
Christine. Thank you.
oh, let me go grab you. I put that agenda over there.
This doesn't typically stay on. When you want to talk, you press to talk.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting back to order. I'm going to get the gavel out. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting from June 8th, the regular school board meeting, and then the July 1st continuation from the June 8th meeting?
So moved.
Have a second.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Any opposing votes? Hearing none, motion passes. At this point, I'll turn it over to Dr. Fox for a presentation.
Thank you very much. I wanted to take a few moments and
just kind of share a little bit on our ESSERS 2 funding plan for July of 2021. ESSERS 2, otherwise known from the abbreviation, is the Elementary and Secondary Emergency Relief Fund. We received total allocation from the Pennsylvania Department of Education, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, via the federal government for $964,537. Allocations can reach back from March 13th, 2020, and need to be allocated by September of 2023. The application process goes through the Pennsylvania e-grant system, and all items need to be tracked and reported because all items and processes will be monitored. Our philosophy moving forward with all federal programs is certainly and continues to be focusing on the needs of our students, our teachers, and our staff. Also, we want to take items out of the general operating budget because we want to make sure that we are able to sustain over time. And I think that's very important, that these are one-time lump sum allocations and not continual line items. So we want to make sure that we're able to sustain any items over time. And also, we want to look at it from an equitable lens of each of our 3 schools. So our funding usage plan for ESSERS 2 is to look at our iPad leases from the Apple and Company, 3 years for our grades K through 12. These items have been part of our one-to-one, very important devices to transform teaching and learning. From 20 to 21, allocation of, you'll see the total that we want to use for ESSERS 2 to take the iPad leases out is $634,831. The next item is HVAC building automation control improvements. We want to look at automating our systems in all 3 buildings. There's a special emphasis as well on the middle school. We believe that using and having these automated controls will really help the heat pumps, recovery ventilations, and improve our mechanical equipment, as well as the life of equipment, and help that full cycle of air, as well as full dehumidification, which is important for that climate for all of our students and all of our teachers. Very important. Just a quick note, we will come back once we kind of solidify a plan, come together, have more formal discussions on ARP, the American Rescue Plan, ESSERS 3. ESSERS 3 involves stakeholder engagement, the opportunity to engage and discuss, share information with stakeholders. That again is on March 20th and needs to be allocated and spent by September of 2024. There is what's called the 20% set aside for learning loss. I did star that because, quite frankly, I'm not really happy with that term learning loss. But nevertheless, that 20% is there as well. And part of that application process is a health and safety plan. Our health and safety plan was approved early. That health and safety plan was already uploaded because there was a July 30th deadline to that. And the health and safety plan is available on our website for review. And we are, again, currently developing our plan for ESSERS 3. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, moving on to number 10, can I have a motion to approve the CoStar's bid of $15,158 from HB McClure for the well project? This is to replace the well pump that's located under our bleachers that's currently malfunctioning.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or comments? Do I have any no votes? Hearing none, motion will pass. Can I have a motion to approve the request from Swenson Fuels Incorporated to rescind their liquid propane bid for the 2021-2022 school year?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Any no votes? Hearing none, motion passes. Item number 12, can I have a motion to approve the recommendation to accept the next lowest liquid propane bid of $1.35 from Heller's Gas Incorporated?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Any no votes? Motion passes. Number 13, can I have a motion to approve Bardish Signs to fabricate and install a double-faced internally illuminated box sign at a cost not to exceed $38,905.02, plus any permit or engineering fees required by the municipality. This will be the sign that would replace the sign out along 11 and 15 in front of the school. That sign currently is antiquated. We're not able to even get it working correctly, fix it if there's any issues. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, any comments?
Does anybody remember off the top of their head, comparison's sake, this number that's on here? This was in the budget. This was a line item in the budget. Is this equivalent?
That's
Okay.
correct.
All right, thank you.
Do I hear any no votes? Hearing none, motion passes. May I have a motion to approve all personnel matters A through E?
So moved.
I have a second.
Second.
Questions?
I have a
comments?
question, yeah. Is it Mr. Fortelka? Is that how you pronounce your name? Got it right? Yeah, I looked you up on the internet and I was wondering about this program that you have that you do on this. It looks like it's a side gig, I would call it.
Yes,
Can you tell us about that?
sure. Well, pending this, that will no longer become a side gig.
Okay.
That was something that I had done in previous years over the summer with my summertime, ultimately.
Okay.
So barring that, would you still like more information on it?
No, that's my question, because being an AP here is a 24/7 job, so
Correct.
I wanted to know. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Any no votes? Hearing none, motion passes. On behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome Mr. Fatalka to the high school, to the district. Item number 15, under general contracts, can I have a motion to approve new story for tuition for one student for the 2021-22 school year at a rate of $385 per day?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Any no votes? Motion passes. May I have a motion to give Dr. Fox the authorization to approve the resolution to allow electronic signatures for e-grants?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Any no votes?
I just have a question.
Yes.
When we gave Christine the signing, was that end dated or is this a different? Okay. It wasn't end dated. Okay. That's all. I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Any no votes? Motion passes. Item number 17 is an information item, some disposition of some outdated textbooks, materials, some chairs, and a few other miscellaneous things. At this point, I'd like to ask Dr. Rubish to give us an update on the Cumberland Perry Area Career Technical Center.
Phew, I'm glad you remember, because I think I would. Actually, I wanted to ask Dr. Lorfink about the old books at the elementary school. How old were they?
I would say they were 8 years old because they came in the year I started at the elementary school. So 8 to
Okay.
9 years old.
So
Right
what you're
around.
saying is
Okay.
They were when we replaced the reading curriculum, these were the old reading series. Some of them are being sold because the textbooks actually went out of print. There are districts looking for the workbooks, the consumables, because they need them for their program to continue. So we are selling some of them, and then they have been offered to students as well as teachers to have for supplementary resources. So these are all the extras, just to clean house.
If you want some, my son brought home quite a few. I don't know why.
Okay, to get to the Career and Technical Center update, not a lot new. We have a meeting on next Monday, and Dr. Fox and I have breakfast with them. Yeah, Mr. Broom, yeah, and on, I think, August 3rd, August 4th, sometime early that week. The new healthcare center, the new health education room, which is in the old cafeteria, is moving along. They do expect to get it finished in time for the start of the year. So,
Thank you. Therefore, our meeting schedule. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is August 10th. It will be in this room in the high school LGI. Administrative reports, Dr. Fox.
Well, thank you, and good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for your flexibility and joining us here on July 22nd. Thank you to everybody who came out in the morning to have some coffee for our community coffee. It was great to meet a lot of different residents, to be able to talk and have a discussion, as well as to enjoy some coffee with everybody. I want to thank our administrators, our staff, thanking all of our maintenance and custodial staff as they continue their hard work throughout the summer. You know, a lot of times people ask, well, what do you do all summer? It's just amazing the amount of effort and work and planning and replanning and contingency plans and just all of the efforts to prepare. We're excited to welcome our students on August 23rd. We're excited to welcome as we continue to plan our new teacher induction program. And we are excited to welcome all of our staff throughout our district back on August 17th. And that fires me up as we get ready to kind of start the school year off and start the school year off right. Congratulations, Charnette Wilt. Thank you for your service and welcome. Look forward to working with you.
Mr. Quigley, anything on athletics?
Good evening, everyone. Not much to report, just the field maintenance. You know, Donnie's doing an incredible job, and we have a lot of student athletes on campus now doing their summer programs and workouts. We had 99 students take advantage of the physicals here at school on the 6th and the 20th. So, and we'll offer that one more time between fall season and winter season, but everything, you know, looks smooth so far. You just don't see my feet under the water flapping a mile a minute trying to keep my head above water.
Thank you. Mr. Howell.
Good evening. Custodial staff, maintenance staff, like Dr. Fox said, would not want a better crew. They're doing an excellent job this summer. We are on schedule, and we're waiting to open up and wait for the kids to come in the 23rd. So we'll be ready.
Mrs. Moore.
Good evening. We are working through year end. We actually had the auditors in today, so we're moving along with the audit so far. Transportation is moving along well. We have our letters to go out, so the fifth graders and everything like that. And working with the nutrition group about next year's nutrition plan.
Thank you. Dr. Lorfink.
Thank you. Good evening. Just wanted to remind anyone paying attention and listening this evening in our public that the kindergarten orientation event is right before school starts. It's August 19th from 5:30 to 7. Come on and meet your teacher and visit your classroom, ride a school bus. We're really excited to welcome our kindergarten class. We're at about 148-ish kindergartners. So we are right about kind of our target class is about that 150. That's kind of what I expect, 150, 160. So we're right on swing to meet kind of an average, what has become an average class at Susquehanna Elementary School. And our summer program is in full swing, our SOAR program, and next week is the last week. We've had about 66 kindergartners, or sorry, K-4 students at our elementary school for 3 weeks. And they are starting to come in with their new backpacks already, which scares me because that reminds me that school will be here before we know it. And last thing, I took a building walk around with Mrs. Hansel, our head custodian, yesterday, and I was very pleased. So I wanted to thank our custodians and maintenance staff at the elementary school, as well as Mr. Howell and his crew for everything that they're doing to get the building ready for our staff and students.
Dr. Herman.
Good evening. Thank you. Having been on campus only twice before my official start next week, I don't necessarily have an official report, but I do want to say that everyone has been extremely welcoming and helpful with my transition here. And I'm really excited to serve the district in this capacity moving forward. And I will definitely be prepared with something for the August meeting.
So then I shouldn't call on Mr. Fatalka to give a report then, I suppose. Mrs. Matosh.
Yes, the technology department have started installing the access points, the new access points. Mr. Fleischer, Mr. Zabel have finished most of the middle school today, and Mr. Fleischer is planning potentially to come in tonight to finish the elementary building. So we will have those up and running. And just for our parents that are listening, please, if you can fill out the returning student form so we can have all of the information for our students for the start of the school year. Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, we'll have board reports. We'll start with Dr. Rubish.
Yes, I'm happy to report that 10 days ago, the Susquehanna Blackhawk Foundation passed the break-even point on our gun raffle. But you can still buy them today. We have a few left. Get them before they're completely gone. And of course, we still have the magnets. Drawing will be next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Maybe you can win.
Mrs. Walburn. Born.
I'd just like to say welcome to all of our new staff and administration, and thank you to all of our maintenance and facilities and to Mr. Quigley's for making sure we get all of our athletics up and running, and for our administration for all the preparation that they're doing to make sure that our students and our teachers are ready to come back in the fall. I know all of the parents and students are somewhat anxious and excited to get back to school. So thank you for everything.
Mr. Fry.
Congratulations and welcome to all new staff. And, I know it does show the sign of summer ending, but for me, it has been great to see the students, the summers start back up for fall sports. My kids participate, so I'm down here at 7 o'clock in the morning, dropping them off for practice. But the campus looks great. The grounds are phenomenal. And it was the community coffee and meet and greet was a great idea. It was nice to see some members come out and participate. I was happy to be able to be there and be involved in that as well. So just a wonderful idea and good to see the progress and the direction we're headed. Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank you for the most efficient board meeting I think we've had in many, many, many months. I think, Phil has a lot to live up to when he retires.
4 of us weren't here, that's why.
Welcome. And welcome to all the new staff. And just before this meeting, we had a quick athletics committee meeting, and we talked about some things, and the administration is going to get back to us on those things that we talked about. So look forward to see where that goes.
Thank you. Mrs. Wilt, do you have anything you would like to say? It's fine if you don't.
Help, I got a lot to learn.
That's a good place to start. So, and I don't have anything tonight as a board report either. So at this point, we have public comments. I'd like to open it up to anyone in the community. If you go to the microphone, please state your name and your township where you reside and any public comments that you have.
Yes, good evening. I'm Keith Lindsay from Reed Township. Many of you, is this on? Some of you may know me, most probably not. I was here about 7 or 8 years ago on a tax issue, real estate tax issue, and I'm back again. Yeah, it looks like it's indifference on the part of the school board to Reed Township. How can you hit us with a 14% tax increase in a budget year that was supposedly historic state level increases in education, increases in federal, and the budget's 100,000 less than it was the previous year. But we have a 14% increase in Little Reed Township, 200 properties. It's not right. I think I uncovered the problem. It's with some step data and market values. And I sent Mr. Fox and Mr. Lehman and I think Ms. Moore. Does it look right to you? I mean, we go right down the line, each, Perry County, Dauphin County increases yearly by 1%, 2% up and down. We get to 2019. 20% increase in Reed Township. It's not right. I mean, board members, you have to ask these questions when you got to know what a couple mills here, a couple mills there actually does to the taxpayer. Mrs. Wilt, do you know where Reed Township is? Good. I'm glad to hear that. You may be the only board member. I don't know. But we have to get this resolved. I've been working with Senator DeSanto's office and his chief of staff there. He's inquiring into the STEB office to look into the data. I don't know what how this is going to fall out. If pulling that budget back and taking another shot at the tax rates is possible at this point in time, but it's not right. And I have an example here for you. When I was looking into this, I thought, let's get two properties that are sort of similar. All right, we got a Sheets down the road here. We got a Sheets over in Reed Township with a Duncannon address. Everybody knows where that one's at. Both on 2.5 acres of ground. Let me get my glasses out here. I'm getting old. The Sheets over on the island, as we call it, is assessed at $990,000. Sheets down here is $887,600. Both assessed pretty close, within 100,000 of each other. Sheets in Dauphin County is looking at a tax bill this year of $22,543. Down the road here, $11,600. Does that sound right? Two convenience stores owned by the same company being taxed at two entirely different rates by one taxing body. I mean, I'll pass these around to you if you'd like to look at them. Something needs fixed. We can't go on like this. I can see, fluctuations in tax rates, every year as they should. But I can't see huge swings like that. This is the second huge swing Reed Township seen in the last, I'd say 5 years, 6 years, something like that. You look at our tax rate and it goes like this. It's Perry County, straight line. You can bank on it every year within probably $50 of what your taxes are going to be. Reed Township, I don't know, mine probably like $500-600 more than they were last year. In a budget year that's $100,000 less than the previous year. I'm meeting with Mr. Fox and Ms. Moore the next week. I'm not sure what we're going to discuss, but I'm hoping we can come to some kind of resolution and get this straightened out. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lindsay. Can we have those papers or can we make a copy of them perhaps and then get them back to you this evening?
So is Perry County. If you go to the Perry County GIS. Well, no, this
Do you need them back this
one
evening?
was at the county sets that we don't have.
We could send someone down a copy of them if. Oh. Who can make a copy? At the end of the meeting. We'll make a copy before we leave this evening, and then you can just come to executive session a little bit later. All right, we also have anyone else in the audience that has a public comment? We also have a comment from a community member who sent something in via Google Doc. Ask our board secretary, Mrs. Bosball, to read that, please.
This is from a Megan Foltz, Penn Township. Says, I want to thank Dr. Fox for meeting with community members and answering questions during coffee and community chats. It was a great starting step to building foundational relationships between community and administration.
All right, if there's nothing else, then I'm going to ask for an adjournment, and we will follow that with an executive session where we're going to talk, we're going to discuss some contractual issues. We will not be coming out in public. We will not be voting afterward. Can I have a motion for an adjournment, please?
So moved.
Second.